Are you struggling to create and build a spiritual business that is actually making you money and that you feel really excited and inspired to show up in? If this is you, stay tuned because I'm going to take you through a 4-step process on how to do exactly that. All right, welcome to today's episode of the Intuitive Femme Network. I am doing a solo episode today, and based on feedback and information that I've been getting from people, I wanted to cover a topic today that I feel like is one that a lot of people in the audience can relate to and that they're struggling with. And this is finding a strategy that allows them to show up in their business in a way that feels truly aligned, that they feel very excited about, that they have clarity on, and that's actually getting them results, meaning it's making them money in their business. This is one of the biggest challenges that intuitive women struggle with when it comes to the business realm because they are up here, they're high up in these higher realms, and they're not operating in the 3D realm. And so this makes it challenging to kind of bridge that gap. What I want to do today is I want to bridge that gap for you. I want to show you a very simple strategy that you can start applying to your business. And that is one that I guide my clients through to apply into their businesses so they can create a business that feels really, really yummy to them, that they are excited to show up in, that they know how to show up in, that they feel confident to show up in, and that is making them money. Okay, this is a really big thing. And I'd love to hear in the comments if this is something that you've struggled with when it comes to your offers, when it comes to being able to create a pipeline that keeps new clients coming in, because we're struggling with explaining what it is that we do. And so we don't really put it out there, or we hesitate, or we're self-conscious to do it because we're worried that people are going to ask questions that we can't answer, or that we feel like an imposter, etc. Okay, if this is you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and I'm going to help you today to get past that. Okay, so let's just dive in. Like I said, it's 4 steps. So the first step is number 1, we're going to get clear on our purpose. So this is actually why I developed I'm trying to remember what I called it. Define your purpose. There we go. It's like, is it discover? But it's define your purpose worksheet. And this worksheet is designed to help women ask themselves some very important questions to get very clear on what patterns have been coming up in their lives, what knowledge they have that they can share with the collective, and how to monetize that gift. And so I think that this is where there is a lot of disconnect, where people think, well, everybody knows how to do that, or it's not that big of a deal that I know this, or, nobody wants this. And the reality is, if you have a unique skill set, that is a commodity that someone's willing to pay for. This is the beauty right now of capitalism. If we have a service that someone needs, they are willing to pay for it. And the important part of this is helping to convey what that service is and why they need it. So this is where there's a disconnect. If we're able to go in and get very clear on what our purpose is, on what that gift is that we have to offer to the collective and to humanity, we're then able to create a strategy based around that. But until we have that clarity, we're really going to struggle. And this is where I see a lot of people kind of stuck because they know, well, I have this gift to channel. I'm a healer. I get psychic messages. I see things. I can give people clarity. I have access to the Akashic records, and I can help them break through and these patterns and these cycles. But we don't know how to put that together in an offer or a package that the majority of people will understand the value of it. I'd love to hear too, is this you where you've got all of these amazing gifts and abilities and skills, but we're struggling to figure out, well, how do I put that together in something that is marketable, that can be seen as a commodity that people are going to want to pay for? The first step again is to get very clear on it. I'm going to link my Define Your Purpose worksheet. It's free. I'm going to link it down below, the first link there in the description in the show notes, so that you can download that. It will help you get very, very clear on your unique gifts and how they kind of work together in a way that is marketable and what people are needing. Okay. From that point, by going through and utilizing that worksheet, you're going to start getting some clarity, and you're going to start seeing how it can be monetized. How can this gift set be monetized? And I give some options, I give some ideas on how to create a business based around your gifts and unique abilities. And there's lots of different options in there. Okay. It's got tons of ideas. So once we're able to get really clear on this aspect, we can then move into the next steps in actually building out a business. Before I go into step 2, I do want to help you a little bit right here with getting clear on your purpose right here in this video. So what I want to invite you to do is kind of make a list of everything that you're really good at. And I understand that for a lot of us who grew up in environments where we're made to feel that we weren't special, that we were kind of meant to accommodate everyone else, that can be a challenging thing to do. I recognize that, and I want to validate that. If you're here, you most likely had a childhood like that, because this is kind of the burden we bear as the thought leaders and change makers of the world. It's something that we were meant to kind of overcome through our own journeys. Okay, so if you've gone through that, I want to go ahead and validate. I hear you and I see you and I understand. But it's time for us to put that aside and start really taking an honest look at ourselves and not what other people have told us about ourselves based on their own wounding. All right. So create a list of what it is that you're good at. I'd like for you to list any certifications that you have. I'd like for you to list any education that you have. That could be like a bachelor's degree. Like I have a bachelor's in psychology. I went to grad school for rehabilitation counseling. So, we want to put down all of these different things, even if they're not quite applicable to what we think that we're going to be doing, still put them down. Okay. List them out, get very clear. And then what is the thing that people always come to you about? I know that they do. Okay. People come to you for something. What is it advice wise that you tend to offer? It's like you're the go-to person for this thing. That is a clue. Okay. That is a really powerful clue that this is your purpose. And this is a place where there is a group of people that are looking for that service. Okay. And we need to move out of giving it away for free and asking for an energy exchange for it. Okay. So that's going to start helping you get very clear on your purpose. But I still want to invite you to do that worksheet, because it's really going to help you, and it's going to give you a lot more clarity, especially like putting it down on paper and really seeing it, because it breaks it down. There's like a little graph for you, like questions to fill out and questions to answer that are going to get some juices flowing. Okay. So we'll start there. The first step is we have to get clear. And this is a place where a lot of people have struggled and they're not quite clear on what it is that they do. And because of this, they haven't been able to go to step 2. They haven't been able to go to step 2, which is building a framework. Okay, we got to build out our framework for our business. And without having this idea of what a signature offer could be for our business, we're not able to then move on and create this framework that's going to become kind of the masculine energy in our business. Masculine energy is that support, provision, protection, it's stability, it's groundedness. This is why we really crave very masculine men, because of that grounded, stable energy that we desire to experience. And so we need to create that in our business. And this is where we're going to create that. That's where the masculine energy is going to come in our business, is through this strategy and through this framework. And we're building a very solid foundation for us to grow our businesses on so that they become scalable. All right, scalable is important. In order for something to be scalable, it has to be duplicatable. All right, if it's not duplicatable, we really shouldn't be doing it in our business, because then we can't scale and we're going to cap ourselves. All right, so we have to come up with models and frameworks that are duplicatable, meaning that we could eventually hire someone to come in and do those things for us so that we can continue to move into the next level in our business. We can automate them with things like Flowdesk or Thrivecart or anything like that. But we need to make sure that we are creating a framework that allows for growth. Okay, that's the important thing. So the way that we do this is, first and foremost, we have to simplify things. This is where, when people have kind of gone, they've maybe done step one and they're trying to move into step two. So what I see when my clients come in and I'm doing the onboarding with them is that there's so many offers. And I'll be honest, I had fallen into this in the past too, because we're very gifted, right? We have lots of different ways that we can serve. And so we try to piece them all together. And then one moment we're advertising this, and the next we're advertising this. And unfortunately, what this does is it just confuses the audience. They have no idea what the heck we do. They're so confused. And so we really need to simplify our client journey, which is part of this framework for our business. Okay. What I mean by this is, and you're going to hear me talk about this a lot if you watch other videos of mine pertaining to business and strategy, is we need to have that signature offer. The signature offer is that ultimate destination that we want to guide our audience into. Okay. We have to have a destination. And so from that space, we're going to build backwards in our sales funnel. So we have our lead magnet, and then within that same sales funnel, we'll have maybe one or two optional upsells if someone wants to go a little bit deeper, that are going to give them a little bit more insight of what it's like to work with you. And then we're guiding them into that signature offer, that signature program that you've created. All right. Now, this could be an evergreen, it could be a mastermind or a hybrid mind, it could be a membership. All right. But it needs to be something that is duplicatable. It's not a one-to-one offer. Okay. So something that's duplicatable. Membership, we can plug in a bunch of people into there. An evergreen offer that's unlimited, how many we can sell, right? A hybrid mind, if we're doing a one-to-many coaching container, we can plug a bunch of people into that. And we can continue to scale that if we want to bring in other people to assist in that space. Okay. All of those options are things that can grow, right? We can't have just our one-to-one being that signature offer, because we're going to cap. We can only take with so many clients at one time, right? So the signature offer needs to be something that is duplicatable in some way and that can be scaled, that can grow, right? So that's our main offer. And if you're someone who creates a lot of different options within their space, what you need to do is you need to figure out a way to converge those into one signature offer, into one space where it's like, this is the hub. This is the space that you're going to get access to these things. Okay. For some, that might be a membership. All right. For others, it might be a way where it's like, oh, wow, I didn't realize how these all kind of build on each other. And I can turn this into a 6-month program where I facilitate it. Right? Maybe it's a year-long program, but we need to take those options and bring them into one. Now you can leave, if you have a bunch of them, you can leave some that are upsells for the sales funnel, You can leave some in a space where maybe you offer, what I do is if someone pays in full to join my Sacred Feminine Society or Sacred Feminine Sales Society, which is the business coaching aspect, if they pay in full for a year, they get access to my Sacred Feminine program, which is the program to heal the witch's wound. So that's how I've kind of connected those dots, right? So it's like, here's this benefit. If you want to pay in full, you'll get this additional program to help you with these things, right? So figuring out a way to work all of those together so that there's a synergy versus it being lots of different moving parts. It's like that saying, if we chase two rabbits, we're not gonna catch either one. So we need to get clear, what is our rabbit? and we need to focus on that. So we can bring all of these other aspects together in a way that would make sense. And if that's something that you're really struggling with, where you're like, I have no idea how to make that happen, I'm going to go ahead and shamelessly plug, this is exactly what the Sacred Feminine Sales Society is for. And that's exactly what I help my clients do, is I help them piece this stuff together or even create something all together, because they're like, I don't even know where to start. Okay. So if you're in either one of those spaces, or needing to refine some things, then you need to hop inside there. Okay. Also, by having this signature offer, we're then able to have consistency in our messaging. Sorry to interrupt this video. I'm sure that you're loving it, but if you are loving it, I want to make sure that you remember to grab your copy of the Intuitive Femme Framework. This is a 40-page playbook that I put together that breaks down the entire framework you're going to need to build a sustainable, scalable, and aligned feminine business in the online coaching space. So if you're looking to scale your business to multiple 6 and 7 figures and want to do it in a feminine aligned way without burnout and without the gross marketing bro hustle, grab this. You can either click the link below or scan the code. Okay, so let's move on to step 3, which is messaging and content. It's important for us to show up consistently with a consistent message. And so if we have one specific place that we are sending people to, we're then able to be consistent with our messaging and our call to action, versus having this call to action and then that call to action and then that call to action and this offer, right? Where people are like, I have no idea what the heck is going on. And a confused audience is one that's not buying. I will go ahead and say that. But if we're able to be consistent and we're able to be in a space where we're able to explain the result that we get, this is where things massively pivot. They massively, massively change. All right. And this comes down to being able to explain and understand our offer and our audience. Okay. So we probably all heard that we need a client avatar, right? You can create one. I honestly don't feel that having a specific avatar is that essential. I think it's helpful to get an idea of our ideal client and who they are and what they're looking for. That's going to give us a baseline, but we don't have to go into, this is Susie and this is where she lives and this is what she eats. We don't need to really get that heavy handed with it, but getting a general idea of these are the types of people that I want to work with and that I know that I can help, and getting clear on what do they do? Where are they hanging out? What things have they already tried that maybe haven't worked for them? What are their frustrations? What are their desires? Okay. So getting clear on all of that, that's going to help you get a feel through your offer. Okay. How does my offer help with these things? So this is my target audience. They're struggling with visibility. They're struggling with setting boundaries. They're struggling with their relationships because they've kind of just let things go for too long and now they're unhappy, right? Who knows? So, but you need to get clear. You need to get clear, and then going through that offer and saying, okay, this is how this helps with this. This is how this helps with it. Now, here is another spot where it gets tricky and people get stuck. Is making sure that our content explains things pertaining to quantifiable results. What do I mean by that? Quantifiable results. This is stuff that we can touch, okay? Tangible results. I hear so much, you'll probably see it too, where women in the spiritual space, their results all sound the same, right? I help women reclaim their power. I help women embody their true essence. I help women, etc. Okay? What does that mean? So we have to remember our audience is not as evolved in their spiritual journey as we are. And so when we say, I show my clients how to fully embody their feminine energy, most of them don't understand what value that brings. Okay? That's just not in their realm of thinking. And then to be very honest, those who do understand that are not going to be your target audience because they're probably trying to find clients themselves. They're not looking for someone who offers your services. They're also trying to find their own clients. And so we find all these people that they're all looking for clients from each other because they're not able to attract their own audience, because they're not speaking to people at a level where they're actually seeking those types of results. I really hope this is making sense. So we have to make sure that we are communicating our results of our program in a way that someone who is not in the spiritual woo-woo space can understand. All right. So quantifiable results are things like more money, more clients, happier relationships, sacred union, right? These are the things that are quantifiable. What is it actually going to look like when I've done this? What's my life going to look like when I fully embody my feminine power? Well, you're not going to have unhealthy relationships anymore because you're not going to tolerate that kind of garbage, right? So you're going to be able to have the healthy dream relationship that you want. We're also going to heal our money story. This is going to show us where we're having holes, and we'll be able to block and fill those holes so that we can not only keep our money, but learn how to make it grow, learn how to invest it, learn that we're worthy of having money, earning more money. Okay, so what will that look like, right? I hope that this is making sense. We have to find quantifiable results. And I feel like, again, this is another layer that women in this space struggle with when it comes to imposter syndrome, because they don't know how to quantify the result. And then when they try to put it in a quantifiable result, they have this ethical dilemma where they're like, well, I can't guarantee that will happen. That makes total sense. This is where imposter syndrome kicks in, because we're like, well, I can't say that by going through and doing this work, they're going to get their, sacred union or divine partner. You're right, because we don't have control over those, like all of those aspects in the world, right? Just like saying you're going to get more clients. There's no way that we can guarantee that quantifiable. So we need to be mindful of the way that we are wording things. We want to use the result, but we want to also make sure that we're wording things in an ethical way. This is what's going to help kind of break free of this imposter syndrome, where we can say that we can be open to receiving divine union, that we'll be prepared to experience divine union, right? We're wording this in a different way instead of saying, you're going to have divine union. You'll have this by doing this. You're going to make millions of dollars if you implement this strategy. No, there's no way to guarantee that, just because maybe one or two people did it with that same strategy. But we're giving them the resource to unlock that capability, right? So getting clear on, well, how do I word this in a way where it doesn't sound like I'm making these lofty promises that there's really no way that I could guarantee could happen. And as coaches, we're not allowed to make guarantees anyway. So how do I communicate that by doing these things, they can have this type of result without making a promise that they are going to have that result? And then someone getting upset with me coming back and saying, well, this didn't happen. So this is where that wording is very important. So we need to focus our content and our messaging on the result that they want, that quantifiable result, and then making sure that our messaging has an invitation in it where it's saying, this is what could be possible by doing this work. This is what could be possible by implementing this strategy. Because we can't control what someone else does, right? I mean, I can come in and I can teach every one of you that's going to watch this strategy. I can't make someone implement it. I can't make someone be a great copywriter. I can't make someone be great at recording videos, right? There are so many different aspects to things, but I can tell them that if they implement this strategy, that it's going to unlock this potential for growing and scaling their business, because it will, if it's implemented properly. But everyone has different skill sets, right? This is what disclaimers are for. Everyone has a different skill set. So being mindful of that's what's going to help us step out of this kind of imposter energy where it's like, well, I just can't say that. I don't feel comfortable making a bold statement like that. When we use terminology that is too broad, we're not speaking to our target audience. And again, if we're using copy and communication styles that are focused on connecting with people that are already in our space, we're just going to find that we're attracting people that we inspire, right? We'll hear that. You're so inspirational. I'm so inspired by you. I love your content. That's so great. The reason we hear this is because we're just calling in more people that are also trying to get clients and not ones that are actually looking for help. Those that are looking for help, we're going to ask for help, right? So we have to learn how to communicate to them. How do we do this? Through our content, through getting clear on our messaging and understanding how to create really good targeted messaging. Again, that goes back to that signature offer. What does it do? Who does it help? How does it work? Right? How quickly do they get results? Getting very clear on that. And then being able to message and communicate in a way that conveys that and speaks directly to those people. Now, step 4 is we have to talk to those people. This is another place that there's a little bit of a block, right? Where people say, well, I don't want to be messaging with people all day in the DMs. Well, then we're probably not going to make any money. This is a part of business. It's marketing ourselves. It's teaching people. It's connecting. It's networking. It's building relationships. I mean, this is part of running a business, is talking to people. So if that is something that is completely disaligned with us, we might not be going in the right direction. Okay? That's a huge flag there. Okay? The other side of this, if it's like, well, Nancy, like, I do want to do this. It just feels uncomfortable to talk to people so much. Okay, but I'm still talking to you. What we have to do when it comes to this point of chatting with people, one, we don't cold DM. This is what our content is for. It's attraction marketing. It attracts people. We invite people to respond or raise their hand. And then we either DM them or we ask them to DM us. And then we start a conversation. Okay? And so if you're someone who feels very uncomfortable talking to people because you're afraid that you're going to say the wrong thing or that you're going to mess it up and you're going to lose the sale or it's not going to work, this is a space that we really need to work on. And what we can do with that is have a mindset shift. A mindset shift that goes from rejection, this fear of rejection, which is ego. This is very results focused. We're attached to the outcome. Okay, that's where rejection comes from. I am attached to the outcome. I'm in lack, and I feel like this one person has to say yes. Otherwise, XYZ catastrophe, right? Something that we've concocted in our mind that this is terrible, that this person doesn't want to do this. And I've botched this, and it's ruined everything, right? Like, it's a kind of catastrophizing there, but we think this, right? We go there. Okay. And it's because, again, we are attached to the outcome. We're seeking some level of validation from strangers. And so we have to shift out of that mindset into the mindset of, can I help this person? This is a question, right? Instead of having an expectation for a result, we're now moving into a space of flow and expansion where we enter and say, can I help this person? When we're in the messenger, is this someone that I can help? So this is on us to ask the right questions to see if they are someone we can help. Can they afford our services? Are they ready to do this kind of work? So learning how to ask the right questions that aren't so direct. Are you ready to do this work? Can you afford paying this amount? Like, we don't want to do that. But learning how to communicate in ways that invite other people to share this information is going to be important. And this takes practice. Hey, it's me again. One more thing. If you are seeking clarity and trying to find your purpose and fulfillment in this life, whether it be in starting your own business, learning how to monetize your YouTube channel, learning how to have a successful coaching business, or just in general, to find those satisfying relationships that you deeply desire, I want to invite you to snag my Define Your Purpose worksheet. This worksheet is going to help you get really, really clear on your purpose and give you that clarity that you've been seeking so that you can take those next steps towards fulfilling your potential and feeling that fulfillment that you've been seeking. It's also going to include some bonuses. You're going to get my psychic gifts activation. You're going to get a somatic practice and some other amazing resources. So make sure, click the link in the description and download your free worksheet today. So this is why we have to completely release the expectation and be attached to that outcome. We have to let that go. We have to let that go. And we have to move into the space of service where I am trying to figure out and find, can I help this person? That's the only reason I'm here in this inbox talking to them. Can I help them? Not, will they pay me money? Can I get them to sign up? Can I get them to pay me something? And then if they don't, I've failed. And I take that as personal rejection and collapse under the weight of failure. Instead, it's, can I help them? Right? So if they say, no, I'm not interested in that, or I can't afford that at this time, or etc., we're just getting feedback that this is not someone that we can help right now. That's it. It's not personal. It's not that we failed. It's not that they're rejecting us. It's just that they are not someone who's in a place currently where we can help them. This is an important pivot to make. But we have to be talking to people in order to build and grow our business and to scale and to get clients. We have to have conversations. So that's conversations in the DMs. That's discovery calls. It's most likely conversations in the DMs that maybe move over to a discovery call where we get a better feel and we talk to these individuals to see. And again, it's how can I help them even on that discovery call? Can I help this person? It's like we're interviewing them. We're wanting to see. And if we're doing our job by showing up consistently, putting out high value content that speaks directly to our target audience, we're never going to have an ending flow of people to talk to. So when we figure out, oh, okay, this isn't the right fit for this person this time, no problem. Because I've got 60 other people who I'm going to be talking to this week. Maybe 100, maybe 200. Again, if we're implementing these strategies that I teach. Okay. So releasing this expectation, this is the biggest thing in our businesses. Release the expectation and step into that flow and service energy. That's going to become so expansive. That will be so expansive in your business and create this space of freedom instead of fear. This is where it's going to start being fun because we're here because we do want to help, right? We're here because we do feel that call to serve. And so if we're focused on that energy and that aspect of things and keeping that in mind, it's going to be fun to show up. It's going to be fun to talk to people. And sometimes people are not going to be receptive. They're just not going to be in that space. And that's where we just go, okay, like that's just where they are right now. But I'm here to serve. And yes, I can serve and still get paid for it. I can be happy and excited about this offer that I have and know that there are people out there that would be happy and excited to pay for the type of result that I can give them. It's like people are happy to pay to go to school. We go to grad school where there's not even a guarantee on the outside that they're going to get a job. And I guarantee you the investment on that end is probably a lot more than what they're paying you, but you know you're going to get them a result. You know that if someone goes through your container or your program, that they're going to come out on the other side better for it. That's exciting. That's fun. It's something worth talking about. It's something worth chatting to people about and using those conversations for data. If you're talking to too many people that are not able to afford your offer, that's when you say, okay, well, where in my messaging am I talking to those people? And I'm not talking to people that can't afford, right? We look at it that way. Can I help them? And I'm collecting data. Everything's feedback. Everything is feedback for how we're showing up. If we're showing up in a way that's talking to people that can't afford our services, and that's what we're learning by talking to these people, all that is feedback. Say, ooh, okay. I need to look at my messaging. I need to go back to my client target audience and see where am I missing them in my messaging. We wouldn't want to talk to somebody if maybe we teach people advertising for their business, Facebook ads, YouTube ads. Maybe that's what we teach. And we're talking generically about just running ads. And then we keep getting on the phone with people that don't even have an offer. Like, well, how can I help you with ads if I don't have anywhere to like send the ads to? But they're just thinking, oh, this will be my solution. I just need to run ads and I'll start making money. And it's like, well, on what, right? So that would just be feedback saying, ooh, I need to get more clear. I'm making sure that in my messaging, I'm talking about, hey, you who have an offer, maybe you've already tried ads and they didn't work for you, right? Now we're going to get more clear on our messaging to make sure that we're talking to the people that we can actually help. So I really want to invite you into that. I really, really want to invite you to step into that space of allowing for things to just become information and data and feedback. Everything is designed to support and help you. Everything. And so if you can step into a space of remembering that and allowing for that to happen, and then implementing what you're learning, this is where you're going to start seeing growth. But you have to go through these 4 steps. You have to have that offer. You have to have the clarity, then the offer, then getting clear on your messaging, and then talking to people. Is my messaging connecting? Am I attracting the right people? This is what we go through inside the Sacred Feminine Sales Society. And then it's once we get this organically figured out, that's when we're able to then start implementing ads, right? Because I know that this works. So, okay, we figured this out. Now we'll just run ads and set it and forget it. And that's going to save some time, right? now that we've organically figured this out. This is where people spend so much money on ads and just waste money like crazy because they haven't done this work. They haven't built this up. They haven't organically figured out, made sure that their messaging is working and that things are landing properly. Okay. So I want to really invite you to be open to learning, be open to the feedback, release this expectation of a result that's keeping you frozen in fear, keeping you from showing up, and be open to learning. What are these people saying that they need? Who am I attracting? What about them is something I like and I want to attract more? Okay. So those are my 4 steps. Those are my notebooks. I have them all written down. All right. I hope that this was helpful. If you have questions, let me know. I'll make sure that I will link the worksheet. I'll also link my Intuitive Femme framework. That is the full framework for building out your business. It's all broken down into a 40-page playbook. And I will also link the Sacred Feminine Sales Society for those that are like, okay, this feels like it makes sense, but it feels a bit overwhelming and I need some support. Hop inside there and I will support you and we can get you going. Okay. For everyone else, thank you so much for watching and sticking with me to the end. And I will see you on the next episode. Thanks.